Coming to you from the Beaverton City Library, it's The Library Show. Tonight, we welcome storyteller, community activist Chris Williams, comics storyteller Ash Allen, and live looping accordion songstress Jet Black Pearl. Now here's your host, Blaine Ross.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. Welcome to the Library Show. What a great crowd. Were you all out getting suntans today, I hope? It's spring. We can all come out of our caves now. So let's give the sun a round of applause. I'm only slightly out of breath, so it's been one of those days getting ready as usual. Thank you again so much for coming. I have some bad news. My colleague Ann LaValle, who co-hosts the show with me, is not here tonight. She's under the weather, and she was not up to it. So I just wanted to give a shout out to her because she's hurting most from it, and we're all going to miss her, but she'll be back next year. So thanks, Ann. One other little schedule change. Some of you may have noticed originally that John Bennett was going to be on the show. He's an Australian comic storyteller. And he had a scheduling conflict, so he couldn't make it tonight. And you know what, he's in the doghouse. We had a chat, he knows he's in the doghouse. He said I could make fun of him all I wanted, so there might be some Australian jokes tonight, who knows. But he sends his apologies. But here's the bright side of it. I immediately got someone as talented, maybe better, who's also a brilliant comic. So she's walking over there. Ash Allen stepped right in. She's amazing. So it's all good. But those things, sometimes cause a little bit of a hiccup sometimes. So yeah, he's in the dingo house, and he did give us a pair of tickets to give away to one of his shows, and he does really good shows. It's another one of his throwing a bone, one of his dog bones to one of you all, whoever wins that tonight in the raffle. So, thanks, John. So how many of you were here for last year's show, just out of curiosity? Whoa, not too many, a bunch of brand new people, fantastic. I wonder if we did something wrong last year. I don't know. So just so you know, this is basically sort of a parody, satire, riff on a late night talk show. And we have 3 fantastic guests, and they come up and perform. And then we sit down and have a little interview. So that's how it's going to work tonight. And just so you know, the show will run about 90 minutes. We're going to have Chris up, and then we're going to have Ash, and then we're going to have about a 10-minute break so you can go out and get tea and cookies. So we're offering tea and cookies this year. No Beanie Babies under the seats. I'm sorry, that was last year's Oprah present, and that's not happening this year. Put all the money into tea and cookies. That's what's happening. We'll do that, and then Jet Black Pearl will set up her. Look at this. She's got to move that over here. So that takes a few minutes, so we'll do that. She'll perform, and then we're going to have them all come up on the stage, so we give them a big round of applause, and then we will do the raffle. So if you don't have a ticket, don't worry. There'll be a chance to get a ticket at the break, and we can make sure everyone has a chance to win. Okay, bathrooms out in the foyer. Please, if you haven't silenced your cell phones. Ooh, I'm sweating. If you could do that, that would be great. And also out in the front out there, we have surveys. I would love to get feedback about the show, especially how you heard about it. That really helps me figure out how to publicize it. And if you also want to get on an email list for future storytelling events or shows like this, there's a clipboard out there you can sign up. You can also put your email on the survey, or you can also take my business card and send me an email. So if you want to do that to get on the list. Please, if you write your email down, please do it legibly. I still get a lot of bounce backs, and I think those people think I'm ghosting them. Okay, I've got Beth Gilbert back in the booth tonight. Hi, Beth.
Hello.
Thanks for being back there. She's running the lights, the sound. We are filming the show, so it will be available on YouTube in the future. If you have people who missed it and want to watch it, that'll be on YouTube in probably a week or two. And I think that's about it for nuts and bolts and how it's going to go. So I think with that, I'm going to introduce our first guest tonight. He's got a master's in conflict resolution and over a decade of experience in the public school system, where children have been some of his best instructors. Being an engaged listener is one of his most important tools. He's a community builder and organizer, a master storyteller, and story coach who has appeared both on The Moth and Backfence PDX. When he has a spare moment, he also performs with his improv group, Broke Gravy. Whatever he's doing, storytelling and narrative are at the heart of it. Please welcome Chris Williams.
Hello. Oh yeah, thank you for saying something back. All right. So, I've had 4 knee surgeries in, yes, I've had 4 knee surgeries in the past 3 years. I know. And I had a shoulder surgery last month. All of the knee surgeries were on the same knee. Wow, you all are really reactive. I like this. These surgeries aren't the result of me getting older. These surgeries are all because I played football in high school and into college. Now, the interesting thing is I didn't even like football growing up. I didn't have a favorite team. I didn't have a favorite player, and I barely understood the rules. Because I was a soccer player. I had played soccer since the 3rd grade, and I fully expected to continue doing that in the high school. But when you're 14 and all your friends are switching sports, the calculation is pretty simple. You just do what your friends are doing. So I ended up playing football. It took me about 2 weeks to understand what I was doing. And then it took me another 2 weeks to realize that I was pretty good at this. Like, I was really good at it. And I started feeling more of a connection to the sport. I started watching games on TV. I started going to games. I grew up 10 minutes from the Michigan State University Stadium. So I started going to Spartan football games. And on the weekends, when I was lucky enough to visit my uncle, he would take me to Detroit Lions games. So I was never a diehard, but I grew to respect the sport. All that said, this is not a story about football. I met Susan the summer before my junior year of high school. I was invited to this party by my buddy Aaron Schaefer. He was throwing a summer party, and I almost didn't go because I didn't know a lot of people that were going to be there. So I walk into the space, and I see this person, and we're in high school, and she's drinking wine out of a wine glass. It was the 90s. She's drinking wine out of a wine glass, and I remember thinking to myself, who's that? And at that moment, she stopped, she stared at me, she gave me a wide smile, and she just made a beeline right to me. And she said, "Hi, I'm Susan. People call me Missy." And I said, "Hi, I'm Chris." And she looked down at my hand, and she looked back up at me, and she just started laughing. she wouldn't stop. And she said, "Oh, you're a polite young man, huh?" And I looked at her and I was like, I didn't know what to do. Because one, people didn't talk to me like this. They didn't talk to me like this. And two, she was gorgeous. To this day, she still has the thickest head of hair I've ever seen on a real life human being. She was gorgeous. But she kept laughing, so I said, okay, well, it was nice to meet you. And I turned to leave, and she goes, "Oh, don't be sad, polite boy." And she kept laughing, and she turned around, and she went back across the room. And I was just standing there. I was shook. I was like, what just happened? I didn't know if I had just been bullied or flirted with. But what I did know is that I was absolutely smitten. I was head over heels. And I didn't know why, because she had not been nice to me at all. But as an adult, standing in front of all you right now, who's had a lot of therapy, I now understand that I am very attracted to smart, funny women who tease and make fun of me. But I didn't know that back then. I had no clue back then. So I left the party, I went home, and I just kept thinking about Missy. And throughout the entire summer, we kept running into each other. And every time we did, it was pretty much the same vibe. We'd run into each other. She would make some sharp observations about me. I would ask a question or two, and then we would part ways. But the more we ran into each other, the longer the conversations became, the less sharp those observations felt, or maybe I just stopped taking them so personally. And by the time that junior year started, we were dating and we were in love. As in love as high schoolers could be, right? And, you know, we had our ups and downs, but we always had a good time together. We would spend so much time in her basement. She had the best basement. And we would do our homework, we would watch movies, we would play games, we would just talk. But we would always, always eat Mongolian chicken from Charlie Kang's restaurant. It was so good. These were wonderful times. So senior year rolls around, I'm still dating Missy, I'm still playing football, but now the team has this new addition. His name is also Chris. Chris was a big boy. He was 6'5". Yeah. He was from California, and he took up a lot of space, which was good for me because he was an offensive lineman and I was a running back, right? They make those little gaps that I get to run through. Chris and I didn't have a lot in common, besides our names, right? He wore a cowboy hat everywhere he went. He listened to country music. And like Missy, his family had a lot of money. A lot of money. But we did have two things in common. One, we both played football. Two, we both liked my girlfriend. I'm a pretty observant person. And I knew Chris liked my girlfriend right away. And I could tell because he had the same dumb look on his face that I had 2 summers ago. And I know what that was, right? He was into her. But I learned pretty early on by watching my older brother that you can't tell people you're with what to do or how to feel. You can only kind of express how you're feeling. So I expressed to Miss that I thought Chris sucked. And that was that. For some reason that year, senior year, I only had one class with Miss, and that class was AP English. And she had every other class with Big Chris. Every other class she had with Big Chris. So they slowly kind of started becoming friends. I was not a fan of this. And then one Friday night, during a pretty big game, I was sweeping right, and Chris was the lead blocker. There was one person in front, one person to block. And this was a block that he had made several times before. But during this particular block, he fell down. He fell down to the ground. And I took a hit below the waist, helmet to knee. And I felt it pop. And I went down hard. And I had to hobble off the field. And this was my first football injury. This is my first football injury, and it was a big one because my season was done. And I thought my football playing days were also done. But there was something about the way Big Chris fell that didn't sit right with me. But I didn't have a lot of time to think about it because I had a long, long rehab. A long rehab ahead of me. So by the end of that year, I decided that I was going to go to a small little liberal arts school in Colorado Springs, nestled beneath Pikes Peak. And that school is called Colorado College. It's a Division III school, but they have Division I men's hockey and Division I women's soccer. Missy decided that she was going to go to the University of Michigan. This was a college that I also got into, but I just needed to explore what was outside of Michigan. I needed to get away from the great. But you know who did go to the University of Michigan? Yes. Big Chris. Big Chris went to the University of Michigan. So, Miss and I continued to date into our freshman year. But, you know, time and distance did what time and distance does. And by the end of that year, we broke up. We ended things. And we still were friendly, and even to this day, we still talk every once in a while. She is a prosecutor in Chicago. She's really tough, and her being a lawyer makes total sense because I never won an argument with her. She's very, very smart. In my early 30s, I was in Chicago, and Miss and I met up, and we went out to dinner. And during that dinner, she brought up, she brought up Big Chris. And I said, you know what? I always felt like that guy, like he had a thing for you. She leaned in and she said, I need to tell you something. And I was like, okay, yeah, tell me. She said, well, after we broke up, Chris and I, you know, we were still friends at the University of Michigan. And she said, one day, he made a confession to me. And his confession was that he had feelings for me. And that he had always been extremely jealous of our relationship in high school, my relationship with Miss. So jealous, in fact, that during that game, he took a dive on purpose in hopes, and this is his high school brain thinking, in hopes that I would get hurt so badly that he would have more time to spend with Miss. And when she told me this story, I started rubbing my knee, because at that time, in my early 30s, I already had severe arthritis. And that arthritis led to those knee surgeries that I told you about at the beginning of this story. And I think about that choice he made. I think about the effect that it's had on the rest of my life, because he was trying to break us up. And the thing is, Miss and I did break up, but it had nothing to do with Big Chris. It had to do with that we were in high school going into college. We were just becoming different people, right? And I think about that time of recovery, and what ended up happening was, Miss and I ended up spending more time together than we ever did before. I was in that basement more than I used to be. We watched more movies together. We still did our homework together. I think we grew to appreciate each other in ways that we never had before. We ate more Charlie Canes. And because of that time, she will always have a place in my heart for the rest of my life. She's a very important person to me. She really, really showed up for me. And when I think about that, I think that Chris's goal was to break us up. But the only thing that Chris did, and it was by accident, was that he gave me the best memories that I have of the first person that I fell in love with. Missy. Thank you.
Have a seat.
All right.
Big Chris.
Big Chris. He was a giant.
Yeah, you're a big guy too.
I am not a big guy at all. I am not tall. He was a giant. He's 6'5". That's a big boy.
Any more contact with him later on?
No.
No.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was high school. Pretty
Yeah, well, we could talk for a half hour about all the surgeries and the shoulder and everything, but
you could.
you know, my wife
interesting.
calls it the 30-second organ recital, but we're not going to do that.
Okay.
I've had a few too.
Okay.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, you know, I think the audience probably doesn't know, but you have a storytelling show yourself called
Yeah.
Front Porch Sessions.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, yeah. I created Front Porch Sessions maybe 10 years ago. And the goal of it really was just to get people who probably would never talk to each other to talk. It's basically a low-key community event that pretends that it's a storytelling event. So what happens is you come and you listen to storytellers tell a story, a short story, like 7 to 8 minutes. But after each of their stories, we ask you, the audience, a question, and then we ask that you get up and group up with people you don't know, or pair up with someone you don't know, and just discuss your answers with each other. And you do that about 3 times. It takes about 75 minutes. And at the end of it, you would feel like, oh my God, I just met 30 new people, and everyone leaves there with a smile on their face. And I know for a fact that there has been at least one baby born because of one of those events. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Do people, you know, I'm guessing that maybe sometimes people come to that and they maybe aren't sure what's going to happen, or there's
Absolutely. Yeah.
and how do they react when they realize, like, oh my God, I got to talk?
Oh, there's a moan.
Yeah.
So like if that's what happened tonight, I'm sure some people in the audience here would be like,
Ooh, we could do it.
I gotta talk to people, but I'm telling you right now. So it's about 5 minutes, and then I bring people back, and then we bring up the next storyteller. Every time I do it, it takes about 2 minutes to get people to stop talking to each other.
Right.
It's just, because we all do it, it's just natural. Sometimes the older we get, it becomes a little bit more difficult. So I always ask people, and this isn't everybody obviously, but usually when a lot of kids just kind of talk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. It's, what's your favorite color? Green. We're best friends now. You know, and that still is inside of us. Not saying that you're going to become best friends with people, but you're going to remember, like, oh yeah, we can talk to people that we don't know and just have it's kind of a guided conversation, but you're always going to learn something about a person, and you're going to make a connection with them. You know, it just happens. It's
Right.
pretty natural.
Has your background in conflict resolution, how has that sort of factored into that? Or has it?
No, it 100% has. I'm just laughing at conflict resolution because it was, what was I, like late 20s when I graduated. Conflict resolution is probably the best, it is the best educational tool for me that could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
I use everything I learned all the time.
Right.
But seriously, I'm kind of like, how did that happen? I'm still confused about the degree itself and how I got through those 3 years.
Yeah.
But I apply it to everything. I apply it to improv, I apply it to storytelling,
Yeah.
I apply it to my work with the students.
Right.
It was just such a helpful, it's such a helpful tool. But if you were like to ask me like the philosophy, and I couldn't tell you, but if you ever have a chance to take a conflict resolution class, I would suggest you do it. There's so much helpful information
Yeah.
on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the city actually offers it, City of Beaverton offers it. I know they offer it to staff, and I think citizens can take it as well, I believe, to learn how to become one and then work within the city to help neighbors who are arguing over the tree, leaning over the fence
Yeah.
to figure it out.
Yeah, we became like mediators and all of that stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I really do use it. Math, not so much.
Yeah.
Right?
Way over. We got AI for math now. You know?
Tell me about it.
And I'm guessing like listening is probably maybe the
100%.
most important skill.
We all think that we're really great listeners. I guarantee you, we could all get better. Like I thought I was a great listener,
Yeah.
and through that course, I realized like, oh, I don't really listen. I just like to respond.
Right.
So I'm just waiting to respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like when you were growing up? Were you a listener in your family, or were you a storyteller?
So my brother and my mom are the talkers. Like they talk a lot. My older brother and my mom talk a lot. So at the dinner table, it would be my dad, myself, just kind of just listening. Yeah, because they had a lot to say.
Yeah.
They're very excited.
Yeah.
They're very excited to share. And when you grow up that way, you know, I do think it helps you become kind of a more patient person,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably what drew me towards conflict resolution. I'm really good at having difficult conversations and just holding space for people wherever they're at, even if they're kind of in a rough space.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. It takes a certain kind of
Right.
individual, I think. Yeah.
It seems like it would be a hard job to do.
Mm-hmm.
Probably pretty draining.
Yeah, I actually like it. It's not hard for me, but like I said, because of the degree and everything I had to go through, I just think it prepped me
Right.
especially for the world that we're currently living in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the improv. That's.
Oh, yeah. So here's the thing about improv. I totally understand if some of you in the audience, when you heard the word improv, were like, rolled your eyes and were just like, oh my God. Bad improv is a really horrible experience.
Right.
Like it's a horrible experience when you're taking applause for that. When you're sitting there watching bad improv, there's something about it that's so painful, and audiences aren't forgiving of bad improv. Meaning, like, if you're going to improv and this is your first time seeing improv and it's bad, you're probably not going to go back.
Right.
People aren't like that for stand-ups. People aren't like that for music. You hear bad music, you're like, oh, they were just bad. I'm going to still listen.
Right.
Improv, it's like, that was bad. All improv was bad. Never again. Right? And I love that challenge.
Yeah.
The thing I love most about improv is you don't know what's going to happen, but you rehearse so much that you're ready for that. So the joke is, well, why do you have to rehearse? And everyone thinks it's like the funniest joke and they just came up with it and no one's ever heard it. Why do you have to rehearse if it's just improv and you're making it up? If you say that to an improviser, they are silently cursing at you.
Oh, really?
Like in their brain, they're just like, I get it.
So what are some examples of how you rehearse, or is that like a trade secret?
No, there's no, no, there's definitely not a trade secret to it at all. One, you just warm up and you really want to get like out of your head. That's the first thing and getting comfortable. The reason I really love improv is because you can't do it perfectly. It's never gonna happen. You're gonna make a mistake, and you take those mistakes and you turn that into like really fun scenes. So if you're a perfectionist, I would suggest you actually take an improv class because it will absolutely shut that down. I don't care how long you've been doing it, you cannot do it perfectly. And once you get comfortable with that, with the unknown, like understanding like someone's gonna say something to me, I trust this person, and I'm just gonna respond. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Right?
It's unscripted, but he doesn't know.
Yeah. And you just kind of respond. Yeah. But with improv, you also kind of want to make it more entertaining and interesting.
Right.
While moving around and doing something. Yeah.
I feel like audiences should be, I think when I love improv, I mean, it's like watch Whose Line Is It Anyway? I mean, what a great show. But I feel like people should be a lot more forgiving of the fact that you guys are up there and you're doing it in the spur of the moment.
You would think.
That's respect. You should respect that.
That's not what happens.
Okay.
Not very, it's not very forgiving. But it is storytelling. You're just, you're just making stuff up. And you're probably pulling from experiences.
Right.
And you're always asking yourself questions. When I'm doing improv, I'm always like, internally, why did they say it like that? It can be the smallest little detail that just takes a scene and just makes it so much fun. You just really, really have to listen and pay attention to what's happening.
Do you guys have a show? I feel like I looked on your website. There might be some improv coming up.
There's a lot of improv over. This is in Portland.
Well, we're not that far away from Portland.
I know. It actually didn't take me that long to get out here. I think I've been to Beaverton. I've lived in Portland since 2001.
Yeah.
I think I've been to Beaverton maybe 8 times.
Okay.
It feels so far away, but I realize it's not the getting here, it's the going back.
Yeah.
Getting here is pretty easy. Going back, I don't understand where this traffic is coming from.
I don't either.
Yeah, it's tough.
And it's that damn river. You got to go over bridges.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I do it 5 days a week.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm suffering.
Okay. Yeah. And I have good friends here.
Yeah. Oh,
I have like a really
only
good
seen him
friend
like
here.
8 times then in the last 20 years?
I forget that she's here.
Okay.
She called me up and I'll be like, oh yeah, how's Chicago? Or how's, she's like, I'm in Beaverton. I'm like, that's right. We should see each other more. She is here tonight. But like, we don't see each other. And she's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're friends. We do not see each other. And she just lives in Beaverton.
I know. It's hard to get me to go 6 or 8 blocks from my house.
Oh, okay.
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
Do you have it's a library-related question.
All right.
Okay.
Sucks.
You might have to improv on it.
All right.
Do you have a favorite author, book, or library memory that you'd like to share with us?
That I'd like to share with you.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, you don't. I mean, you might hate libraries. I don't know.
No, I love libraries. So, I haven't been in a library in a really long time, so maybe things have changed.
They've changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but the library is called the Hagedorn Library in East Lansing, Michigan. And I'm assuming you all still do story time?
Like for children?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have so much story
Story
time. We got some children's librarians out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was just this woman, and she would wear hand-knitted like sweaters and scarves, and she came with this basket, this weaved basket, and it didn't just have books in it. It had, I guess I thought they were toys, but I think now we would just call them fidgets.
Oh yeah.
She was so kind. She was so nice. Her voice was amazing. And she would reach into her basket and she would hand out these items. And she was so calm. And we would all just be so excited. And she'd wait for us to come down, and she'd always, and I just remember it. And I love that moment. Like,
Yeah.
I would kind of wait for it.
Mhm.
It was like, and I was a pretty,
Yeah.
active
Fidgety.
kid, and the moment she did this, it was like, we all just kind of zoned in, and she never raised her voice,
Yeah.
which made the rest of us like, lean in and listen.
Mhm.
Probably teaching me a lot of performance skills now that I'm thinking about it, because I haven't thought about her in a really long time.
Yeah.
And she would just say, okay, are we ready? She'd go, that's what she did, And the funny thing is, she seemed so old to me back then. I believe I'm much older than her now, thinking about it.
Right.
And she seemed so old. But it was just, she wasn't. She was in her 30s.
Yeah.
She had to just have been in her 30s. She's so old. But she was like safety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. We have the children's all the library people are fantastic, but the children's librarians they are so passionate about
Yeah.
what they do. They love kids, and it's so great. I mean, they have huge fan clubs here. So,
I bet.
Yeah, the story times are big.
Yeah, they're so important.
Yeah.
And like the smell of books, I feel like it's getting lost.
Yeah.
Because I talk about the smell of books to people and they're like, what? And just like when you get a bunch of books in a library, not a bookstore, it has to be a library. They have to have been like,
Right.
they have to gone through some
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
Like that smell, those books in stores,
They're too new.
they're too new.
Yeah.
Library books have a story.
They do.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really
For having
appreciate it. Yeah.
All right.
And anything else coming up that's in the near future that we can talk about?
If you find yourself in Portland, is it hard for you all to come to Portland? I guess it's reverse, huh? No. Oh, okay.
I think we have some people from Portland.
Whoa! If you find yourself in Portland, check out Kickstand Comedy Theater. It's right off Hawthorne and like 11th or 12th.
Okay, yeah.
And there's a lot of good comedy happening there. I produce a show on April 18th. It's called 7 Minutes in Heaven, and it's a really, really fun improv show.
Oh, okay, that sounds great. Yeah, there's so much good stuff happening it's really inexpensive. So
Yeah,
never mind U2 and all those big concerts. Go catch the local
there's a lot to do. And Comedy in the Park is coming back this summer, and I'm sure you'll be able to see Ash there,
Yeah.
who's very funny.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks so much again for being on the show. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Take care of that knee. Yeah, was that rotator cuff surgery? Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that after the show. Okay. Originally from Mississippi, our next guest grew up a critter-obsessed barefoot tomboy roaming the woods. And that wild southern upbringing fuels her poignant and feral storytelling style. I saw this last week at her first solo storytelling show called Big Feelings Baby, a show about growing up and learning to howl it all out. She's a multiple Moth Story Slam winner, member of 2026 Willamette Week's Funniest Five, and Best of Portland Comedy finalist. She's brought her talents to stages here, nationwide, and festivals like Pickathon and Hell Yes Fest. She hosts the storytelling radio show Porch Hang and co-hosts Roy G. Biv, I think I'm kind of pronouncing that right. Oh, I got it right. Spotlighting top queer comedy. Please welcome Ash Allen.
Let's keep it going for Blaine. Awesome show. And one more time for Chris. Oh my God. I can't tell because we're sitting down, but if your name's Chris and you're over 6 feet, you need to leave. 5 minutes to get out of here. Thanks for the intro and the warm welcome, you guys. Yeah, we're gonna go back to Mississippi for a little bit. So taking a step back, the year was 2021, everyone's favorite. To go back to the time machine. But I was living in Seattle, and I had been there for about 15 years. I came out for college, and then I stayed and had a full life there. My friends, I even got married, and at this point, I was going through a divorce. And I was leaving Seattle for, I don't know, potentially the last time. I didn't know when I was going to come back. The pandemic was very much happening. This actually was before there was any kind of vaccine, so I just was so scared in my little makeshift apartment that I moved out of my, my home into this little space, and all of my life was in boxes. And my job was that I was an event planner for nonprofits, and I was trying to find a way to make a luncheon work on the internet, and that's not fun, you guys. Not a fun time. And everything just felt so big, so big. I kept pressing my booster button to be like, okay, I can do this 15-hour day for this event. I can pack up my stuff, and I think it's time to leave Seattle. My parents had just finished building this cabin on the property that I grew up on in Mississippi, and they want to Airbnb it. They want to rent it. And my girlfriend, who has never gone to Mississippi before, looks at me, and I look back at her, and she's like, should we go? I'm like, what? She's like, should we go live in the cabin in Mississippi? I'm like, strangely enough, for two lesbians in 2021, that sounds like the safest place to go. So she had started things off. She was living, she had, started to move our stuff, and I was going to meet up with her in Portland, and then we're going to drive together to Mississippi. And so all of my life goes inside a storage unit, and then the rest of it is just packed inside my Subaru. You guessed it, my Subaru. No brand deal. That's on them. I'm waiting anytime. And this is a car that I just got. It's not new. It's new to me, but I get it because I want it to take me home, take us home safely. And I'm like, I've got this. I can press my booster button one more time. I can just you just packed everything up. Sunset, you're leaving Seattle, driving, seeing the lights. It's a beautiful sunset. Rainier is pink. She is like up against your face. And I'm feeling pretty good. I put on some Fiona Apple to really feel it out. And I'm just like doing my little sing-alongs, and on I-5, and it's getting darker, and I'm still feeling pretty good. And suddenly it's just dark, really dark. We call that nighttime. It's dark. But it's just very dark. And the lights coming up, like the white headlights, and then all of the red. It's suddenly kind of hard for me to really see if I'm in the right lane. I'm starting to not really trust my eyes anymore for where the car is. And I'm like, okay, you're okay. Keep pressing the little booster. You got this. And I suddenly realized that I'm not even pressing on the booster. There's nothing left. I'm not even pressing on the gas. I realize I'm surrounded by semis, in front, behind, and then I'm boxed in, and I don't even know if I'm in a lane. Are they holding me up? What's happening? I don't really know what's happening. All I know is that I, for the first time, don't know where my heart is. it's actually outside of my chest. I didn't know that's actually a real feeling. I thought that was just a turn of phrase. I did not know that it could feel like you don't have it inside you. I didn't feel my hands anymore, my feet, and I realized you're having a panic attack. Just funny to acknowledge while you're having a panic attack. You know, you could be like, well, let's not have it. And it's like, that's not how that works. While we would rather not, the little wild panicked creature just shot up, and what would have been normally its little ceiling of like, calm down, you're okay, all of that pushing of my booster of trying to just get through one more day, pack up, get out of Seattle, you can do this, you can move back home for a year. And then there wasn't anything to keep that little animal inside. It just got through and was loose in the car. And how do I even get off this highway? I see an exit, Centralia. God bless Centralia. I may be the first person to ever say that. God bless Centralia. I was like, okay, and I just somehow floated my Subaru. We just got there, and then suddenly I'm in a McDonald's parking lot, and I am outside just doing crazy dances, just crying. I'm just trying to get it out of my system, and I'm crying, and I don't know how to get back on the highway because there's nowhere. I can't now live in Centralia. Just so you all know, I don't live in Centralia now. I don't. But I was like, how do I ever leave here? I don't know. And I kept like trying to get back on the road, and it was just took me so many times, and I had to find a strategy to drive so slowly, dangerously in the closest lane, looking at each exit sign to Portland, to my girlfriend, to say, okay, I can go 8 more miles. Okay, you can do 10 more miles. And so that's how I got there, and I made it. But the next day when it was time to drive across the country to Mississippi, I'm not driving. I can't drive anymore. I'm like, okay, just give me a day or two, I'll shake this off. And so Helena starts driving us, and it's like, okay, like maybe I need like a flat South Dakota to really, maybe Iowa's gonna be where I can do this again. Okay, well, maybe Tennessee. Maybe when I get in the state lines of where I'm from, I'll be able to do, I kept waiting for when is this going to just not be true? But I get home and I've not driven a mile. There was like half a mile in Kansas before I started just to cry again. So it was like, we're not doing this. So we get home and I'm in Mississippi and I'm thinking, what a perfect place to feel big again. I love critters. This is a family reunion with me and my squirrels. This is the first place I ever felt big. I felt as big as the trees I grew up around. I've never felt anxious out here. So surely I'll get it all back here. Oh, I'm realizing everything is starting to scare me. It's not cars anymore. I've stopped driving completely. I now fully depend on my girlfriend to take me to our Friday night date spot, which during the pandemic in Mississippi, that is Walgreens. We're going to Walgreens on Friday night, and that's a good time. You just take your time going up and down, though. That is, what else do you need? And so my life had gotten so small in this place I used to feel so big in. Even though I wasn't driving, my fear was getting bigger and bigger. I was instead of looking at it, I was just turning my back to it, and I can see its shadow just move. It was not about cars anymore. I was just afraid of everything. And then the scariest animal of all showed up. We can all say it together, a goose. I know if there's any judgment, y'all haven't had a goose do this to you. So just count yourself lucky, privilege. I'm just a tiny little baby right now, but I'm also 35, and I'm inside this cabin that my parents have built, and I can't really go anywhere. Where would I go? We're in a pandemic, but also you can't. And we live off the highway. What am I going to go for a walk out there? So I just have the woods, But actually, to even get to the woods, I have to go out the front door. And what is right out the front door? It's a pair of geese who have decided to make their little home right there. They're gonna do their little nest. And so my parents, I grew up on this property with this beautiful little blue lake that from above looks like a blue dress. And that's what I'm looking at every day. But I'm also looking at these two geese staring back at me. The male in particular, just like, I watch you sleep at night. And they landed, they chose this one little tiny tuft, like it's barely a tuft, whatever is a degree less than a tuft. They chose the tiniest little island tuft right off our little waterfront to create their nest. And I am like, oh, that's where we also fish sometimes. And so I'm thinking like, is there anything like fishing related in that little area? But they've chosen it and it seems to be fine. And I'm like, but my storytelling, like before I became a storyteller, my anxiety was my storyteller. And so it's like, something bad's gonna happen on that tuft, something bad's gonna happen. But it's also just like, chill. Go to Walgreens and chill out. You know, like just go live your life at Walgreens. Nothing bad can happen there. One morning, actually it was closer to noon, Mom's teaching, you know, and she's still trying to teach during the pandemic. You know that's a good thing in Mississippi Public Schools. It's rough. So she's out there, and I'm stressed about her there too, but she's out there, and I'm here with my girlfriend. My dad is in the home that I grew up in, just across the field. And my grandma, who has dementia and cancer, is also living with them, and so she's there watching daytime TV. And I look and I see that there is this storm coming, but it's like really spooky. Like the clouds here, you know, you don't go home because of them. You're like, we need to lock down. The ones there, it's like you can see like the kind of sky changing color during the day. It almost feels like it's twilight, but it's noon. This is not good. And I can just feel my anxiety. And I look, and the wind's picking up on the water, the ripples. And the male goose is like over in the corner of the lake. He's doing something weird. He would, you know, like typical. And then she is on her little tuft, but I'm noticing that she's doing something strange. I'm like, is this my anxiety talking, or is this what my eyes are seeing? She's like moving her neck around, kind of weird. And then, actually, the thing that I'm afraid of the most is true. Oh my God, she has a fishing line. And I see a little bright lure that's not attached to her, but it's like a part of this line. And I'm just sick to my stomach. I feel it, just the anxiety just lead in my bones. And I'm a little kid again that just feels like I'm about to watch the worst possible thing happen. And I can't do anything about it, but just watch. Except I could run to my dad like I'm 6, you know. So I just run straight over to the house. He's watching some of the soaps, you know. He's catching up with Grandma. I'm like, Dad, and I do the thing that like you do in a cartoon or kids do, where you hold your face because you're so scared. It's like, Dad. I don't know why I need to frame my face to do this, but I was like, please just try. I don't know what you can do. I don't know what you can do, but can you just try? I can't even go over there because this male goose wants to kill me. He makes eye contact and does things like I'm not making that up. It's true. They're so big. They're bigger than you think. And those necks, oh. And they're coming to go through you. So I just watch, and I watch him run through the field between our houses. And he gets in the boat and just goes up straight to her. At this point, the male is making his way. He's finally aware that something's going on. And my dad has a little tiny paddle. His purpose is confusing, it's so tiny, but he has a little tiny paddle in the boat, and he has it in one hand, and the male goose is now fully on top of his face. He is like airborne attack. He's pushing him away with his tiny little paddle, while he's also talking to the goose. And he's like, "Hey, mama, it's gonna be okay." And he's, as she's still wildly moving, he just is gingerly, calmly, slowing down time, and just getting that line off of her neck, while also frontline combat. It's a full blitz. But he's only talking to her. And within a matter of minutes, it felt like hours, but suddenly he backed away. And the male goose is now back with his partner, and she's okay. And the line is now in my dad's hand, and no, the worst thing didn't happen. Actually, this beautiful thing happened. My dad has some lake water on him, but otherwise he just lights up a cigarette. He's like, "Okay," like cracking a Bud Light. Just doing stuff. Noontime stuff in Mississippi, Not sure what's scheduled for 3 p.m., but it's gonna be good. And I asked him, "How did you do that? Like, how did you do that?" And he said, "Ash, like, you have to run to your goose. Meaning, if you're afraid of something and you run away from it, it just gets bigger and bigger. It will only grow. If you keep running from that goose will eventually, in your mind, have like a machete. It's just, if you run to your goose, there's nothing to be really afraid of. It's okay, just run to it." And I take that when I moved back to Portland, when we left Mississippi, and I still couldn't drive all the way back. At this point, that had become the way it was. I just didn't drive anymore. I couldn't imagine driving ever again. I couldn't fathom it. I thought people on the road were crazy, which not true, but it just seemed, the whole concept seemed insane to me. So my life, I felt like I had clipped my wings. I wasn't really free anymore. So moving here, I realized I almost had a panic attack walking our dog, and I was like, I need to run to my goose. I have to start running because my life is so small. And so I started going to open mics for comedy, which is the worst idea for that, But I'm like, what's the worst? What requires me from the second I get in the car, driving myself in the dark to weird-ass bars in Portland, places that should not be visited more than once, to go talk to people that really don't want to listen to me at midnight on a Tuesday, and then find your way back. And I white-knuckled my way through it every night of the week for years, until suddenly I realized that I can cross a bridge and sing Fiona Apple, and it's okay. So, run to your goose, y'all! Thanks again.
First question, what kind of goose?
Mm-hmm.
Canadian?
Big one.
Big one?
Big one. Yeah, it was a goose from the Great White North from Canada, and
It's one illegal immigrant.
yeah, I know. Well, we were like, it's a Yankee, It did feel like an attack. It was an attack. Actually, what I didn't mention in the story, which I should have, was that I was attacked by this male goose before this, and so I had experienced a direct blitz, and so I knew that this was possible. It wasn't just in my head, it was in fact a reality. And when he did do that, I didn't even see him right away. I was just wearing these exact overalls. I do have other clothes, but like not really. In theory I do, but I was wearing this exact outfit more or less, and I had some white wine in a mason jar, you know, just like really like, and I was like, I'm one with the woods, I'm one with this place, I am of Mississippi. And then I just felt the wind, I heard him before I saw him, I turned around, he was like about to go through me, like he was like about to like, we were about to become one. He was just like, I could see the pink of his throat, like he was like coming. And I had just watched a lot of Real Housewives Atlanta, and I did what I learned. I just like did the only thing I thought, which was throw my white wine in his face. I was like, and then I was like, ah! And I just like screamed, and then I ran back, and most of the white wine was on me. And so I just like sprinted back to the cabin, and I was like, I don't think I can ever wear Carhartts ever again. Like, I can't even say I'm from Mississippi anymore. It's like I've lost the right to. But here I am.
Oh, that's funny. You know, my son, you'll love this. His current job is driving a golf cart, chasing geese on a golf course to scare them off, because, you know, you can't hurt them, but you can scare them. So he races around on the golf cart.
This feels like immersion therapy. Like, would he want to have, like, middle-aged lesbian hang out with him?
You know, they probably want to talk to you. They probably want to talk to you after the show, maybe get some tips.
Yeah, I need to go for a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd probably take you for a ride, and maybe you could bring some white wine.
Oh, yeah, no, and just... I'm not sure if it would work any other way. Yeah. No, I'm on board.
So you do stand-up comedy and storytelling. Do you have a preference? Are you just diversifying your craft, or do you have, I mean...
Yeah, you know, I think first for me is that, because I did grow up in a storytelling, you know, I mean, from the South, it's true, we do just kind of all hold court in our little areas, you know, in front of a fire pit of some kind of form of fire is happening, and then some alcohol and talking, you know, and so that is what we did and do, and so, I don't know, I think for me, comedy and storytelling aren't that far apart in my mind. I think that our expectations as an audience, you know, the way that we approach, like, the way that we respond to them, I think is very interesting and different. I think that, yeah, I don't know. So I think that they are very different. But for me, like the most serious, real stuff is cushioned right next to the funniest thing. Like, of course, this would happen during grandma's funeral, you know, like, or of course, like, it's just like, so to me, the height, like the kind of lows and highs of that stuff are just like always kissing. And so to me, they naturally belong together. But I do also just love pure comedy. No, but I do love both in their pure forms, because they are different, and they do require like different things. Like, for instance, in high school, I used to run cross country, and I was also a sprint captain. So I loved to go the shortest, but I also loved to go for a long time. And so they were so different. The people I ran with were so different. The culture around the meets so different. The way I trained, the way my body would change for each season, the way my muscles would change, like the training's different. And so yes, they're all running, but in one of them, I have to get there in 30 seconds, or I have to get there in a minute. And if I don't get to you in that minute, I've lost you. Or if I don't, whereas storytelling feels more like, let's go for a run in the woods, and let's go somewhere together. Let's drop in somewhere and go on a journey where I think unless you've already kind of made it and you're given an hour to do comedy, if you're really like, I think later on in someone's career you can have that much time to do that too, but ultimately when you start comedy you have 3 minutes at a mic, and so it's
Right.
like if you can't do a really condensed 3, you're not going to then get offers for a longer time.
Yeah.
And so it just feels like a sprint
Yeah.
in a way. I don't know.
No, that's really interesting, I think, and you know, you have developed this 1 hour. Well, it's almost an hour, 50 minutes, something like that.
Emotionally, it's longer.
Your new show, Big Feelings Baby, that gives you 50 minutes to really
Oh yeah,
flush something out.
we're buckling up together. We're locking those doors. You know, not really, but like, Yeah, no, I wanted to. Yeah, I want to drop y'all in Mississippi. I want to like so the show is just like you're hanging out with me. I'm 10 years old wearing the same outfit and and so then I just kind of we're in the woods together and then it goes from there. So I love that. Like storytelling gives me the format for that, but then again, like there's just parts that are just also ridiculous because also life is really silly and funny sometimes.
Yeah, and you go off to summer camp for a month.
For a month.
And no spoiler alerts, but when you come back, something's changed, and it's I think it's worth seeing the show if y'all get a chance to see it. You're taking it on the road?
I am. Yeah, it's a really precious, like I hate the word precious now. I'm like, why am I saying this word? But it does feel like this story is it's a love letter to Mississippi, where I'm from, but it's also a love letter to my grandma, who was my only neighbor up the road. And so in the show, I talk about how like my best, closest friends and things that I really learned how to be. Before I learned how to be a person in the world, I learned how to be a critter. And I learned from them, like, how to love, how to be, how to, like, turns out when I related so hard to squirrels, it was just undiagnosed ADHD. But it's just, like, affirming, affirming that you're not the only one that, like, is just, but all this to say, it's like, so it's a love letter to the people in the place. My grandma ended up having a partner, a woman partner, for 40 plus years and was the first gay person I knew. And it's about our bond, and then, the things that will change over time, how to return home, how to, conjure people that are gone, and then how to release big feelings together. And I want to take the show, next year I want to do a big friend run. Like I want to prepare the show, get it ready to do, as many of the fringe festivals going up to like Brighton and potentially Edinburgh if I'm able to do that. I would love to do that next year. So this year I want to do an encore something in Portland like late summer, and then do one in Seattle for a weekend. I do like kind of a weekend in Seattle. So I'm gonna try and just like some West Coast, like do a weekend in a city and do like a little, run. But I just want to get it as road ready as I can because I really want to take it on the road because I just think that, it's a story about belonging and realizing that you're not the only gay person in the woods. In fact, there's one on the same acre as you, which is a pretty gay acre, if you look at it that way. It's like 50% gay, so that's pretty high. So that you're not an anomaly, you are in fact common.
Okay. Do you have a favorite library memory or favorite book or a favorite olive? You can, whatever you want to tell us. Tell us something library related.
Got lots of favorites. My mama, who's right there, Kathy, all the way from Mississippi.
She's here for the show.
She's here tonight. I loved our nighttime routine. It was so good. You did a very good job. She would, like once a week, we would go to the library. This is before I could read. So this is early memory. I was 15. It's all foggy before that. But I couldn't read yet, but she would let me spend as much time as I wanted to find the books I wanted for the week. And so it was 1 book per day. I could get up to 7 books. And then every night she would read me one of those books. And I'll never forget, there was one book in particular that like blew my mind, not because of the storyline. The storyline was just that it was these different animals that were training for a race through the woods. These are all things that now y'all know I am interested in. Animals racing? Oh my God. But yeah, I was into it for that reason, but it was like them eating spaghetti the night before, training, and then one of them wins the race. I had her read it, not like the normal one, only once. She read it again the next night, because I was like, I love critters and cross-country outfits, I love it. But then it was crazy because a different animal won. And I assumed the book was magic.
Oh.
I did not assume the simpler answer that she just, I'm like, that's not possible. She's reading the words. Which I cannot deny or confirm if that's true. So I've had to read it every night for a while, and they changed every night. I was like, this book is crazy. And so it made me just so excited to read. I was like, I can't wait to learn how to read this year. I was like, I gotta crack the code, you know. But as far as books, I love a lot of books. But I talk a little bit in the show. But one of the first other girls that I felt like was the most like me, and I wasn't an alien, just a little feral redneck in the woods, was that Scout from To Kill a Mockingbird. When I read that, I was like, oh, nothing's wrong with me. Like, Scout is so cool. Like, the first cool girl you ever know is Scout. And so I got to, have that connection, and I forever, I named my first dog Scout after that. So I'm like, Scout for life. If you're here tonight, Scout, thank you. Yeah.
Do you know how many library books you can check out at our library?
As many as you want.
Oh, that's optimistic.
But what if you want only 10? 5?
100.
2. 100.
Yeah. I love when I work in the kids section and the kids are there and they're like, want to know how many books they can check. I always look at the parent and I'm like, it's 100. Do you want me to tell them that? Some of them are like, no.
You're like, what did y'all drive in today? A Tahoe? It's a weight-bearing issue. Yeah.
Ash Allen, thank you so much for being on the library show.
Thanks for having me.
So we're going to take a quick break so Yeti can set up her magical accordion over here. So there's tea and cookies out in the lobby, and just about maybe 5 or 10 minutes. You feel free to bring the stuff back in here. There's lids for the cups. No McDonald's lawsuits, please. Don't spill it on yourself or anybody else. And then come back and we'll have Yeti, and then we'll wrap the show up and give away some stuff. Thanks. Oh, and also if you want to ask any questions, Jenny's back there with a wireless microphone. I'll be up here too. Okay, everybody got their tea and cookies? Some people got 2 cookies. Noah? Did you chase geese today? Okay, you did. Okay. 25 years ago, Yeti Swart smuggled an accordion from a thrift shop in Prague back to the Netherlands. She then realized that she would have to learn to play it and sing her own songs. Since then, Yeti has performed everywhere from big tops to living rooms, prisons, barges, all over the world. After years in France and even winning French songwriting awards, she relocated to Portland, Oregon, now performing in both French and English with a Dutch accent. She's Dutch. Ann and I saw her in a storyteller Travis Abel's basement last June, and we knew we had to get her on the show. She was amazing. Jet Black Pearl creates alternative worlds filled with humor and ironic observations. With her loop station, she records grooves and layers of flute, vocal percussion, and harmonies, all the while squeezing one hot accordion. Please welcome Jet Black Pearl.
I like this. I haven't done anything yet, and people are already clapping their hands. Can you do that again? Yeah, so sometimes people don't understand, why sometimes I call myself Yeti and sometimes Jet Black Pearl. It's the same thing. My parents call me Yeti, when I was born in the Netherlands, or actually Yeti, because we actually have T's in the middle of vowels in the Netherlands. And my friends and my family call me Yet. And then I came here and it became Chet. And my last name is Zwart. Guess what? It means black. And then I met this guy, and his name is Pearl. And I thought that's a terrific stage name and a visa at the same time. And now I'm going to tell you something about Dutch people. Take a deep breath. Born as a baby, 'cause that's how you get born. But I got brothers, but everybody's got brothers. Not all brothers are Dutch, but I got Dutch brothers, 2 Dutch brothers, double Dutch brothers. And the Dutch baby, that was me. The double Dutch baby, that was me. When I grew up, 'cause that's what you do. Now I'm a woman, but everybody is a woman. Not all women are Dutch, but I'm a Dutch woman, not Deutsch dude. Ditch there, I'm Dutch, like the day, 'cause that baby, that was me. Double Dutch baby, that was me. Ik ben een koppengeboten uit de modder getrokken kaaskop. Opgeroeid met stampot, hutspot, worst op een bord, speculaaspot. Net Sinterklaas, een koppengeboten uit de modder getrokken kaaskop. Opgeroeid met stampot, hutspot, worst op een bord, speculaaspot. Net Sinterklaas, een koppengeboten uit de modder getrokken kaaskop. Opgeroeid met stampot, hutspot, worst op een bord, speculaaspot. Net Sinterklaas, now going Dutch means pay what you eat. But also be upfront and say what you think, even though nobody asked for your opinion. So if I'm rude, my friend, I'm just being Dutch again. If I'm rude, my friend, it's a compliment. Koppengeboten uit de modder getrokken kaaskop. Opgeroeid met stampot, hutspot, worst op een bord, speculaaspot. Net Sinterklaas, een koppengeboten uit de modder getrokken kaaskop. Opgeroeid met stampot, hutspot, worst op een bord, speculaaspot. Net Sinterklaas. Yeah, that was that. And then I came here. It's different. Different. There's always, when you go to a different country, there's always a lot of things that like what's going on here? And one of the things that struck me in this part of the world was the abundance of love that people share. Now you're like, what is she talking about? Let me explain. So I spent more than 20 years in the Netherlands, and then I lived another almost 20 years in France. And I can count on the fingers of one hand the number of people who told me that they love me. And it's not bad. And I still got a couple of fingers left, actually. It's just different. Like when you say that you love someone over there, it's deep. It means a lot. It means you want to marry that person. And well, no, nobody asked me to marry there either, but that's a different story. But then, so I came here for the first time, and because I had met that guy called Pearl, Mr. Pearl, I'm going to call him, and he invited me to come to his family, and I met the mother and the sister and the brother, all very nice people, and we all tried to do our best to please each other. It was very nice, and a couple days after that, his sister, she called him, and then we were chatting, and after a while, she said, can I talk to Yeti? And then it was me, so I was on the phone with her. That was unreal. We were chatting, like, oh, it was nice to meet you. Yeah, it was nice to meet you too. And hope to meet you again. Yeah, hope to meet you too. Really profound. And then right before she hung up, she said, love you, bye. But I'm with your brother. What are we going to do? It's going to be really complicated. And I said, she had already hung up. I gave the phone back to Mr. Pearl, and I was really flushed, so I went outside. I needed some air, and think about this, like, what is this going to be? This is a very strange situation. I have not lived this already in Europe, and right when I was getting some air, there's this woman on the other side of the street. She walks by, chatting on the phone, so like, that's how American sounds like. I love your boots, she says to me. She loves my boots. I was ready to take off my boots and give them to her. So I go down, get off my boots, and I have one boot in my hand, like, lady, because, you know, I like my boots. They were comfortable and the right size, and they look good, but I hadn't thought about having like a sexual or just even intellectual relationship with my boots. And frankly, I could live with other boots. So I was like, she was already gone. So a couple more of these examples, and I concluded one thing. People in this part of the world, they fall in love really quickly. With people, other people, and objects even. But then they don't want to face the consequences. So then they run away, or they hang up. Now I'm going to sing a song for you about love. The European kind of love. It's not better. It's just different. Takes more time to get used to. But then, once it happens, you don't run away. You didn't hear that, did you? It's all right. It's my Dutch accent. You bring me food, you're in the Stratenbahn. Strong your body, powerful your voice, it's undeniable. Since you came into my life, there's no choice. Oh shit. I just accidentally erased everything. Awkward. No worries. This is a live show. You're reliable. Well, sometimes. You never leave the house when I'm on the run. You're original. You got class, you got style, you're having so much fun. You're the total one. Everywhere you go, people love you madly. It's undeniable. Without you, I would cry. I would suffer badly. So flexible. Look the way you stretch and bend when we dance through the night. You're inflatable. I love the way you swell when I hold you tight. You're pliable, you're squeezable, you're screwable. Oh, please, baby, let me be your wife. You're deductible, you're removable, you're tetrasyllable. Accordion, accordion, accordion. You're the lover of my life. The next song is also a story, but it's not my story, okay? I want to let you know that you understand this is not my story. This is a story I heard from a chicken at a farm close by middle-aged chicken, and she asked me to tell you her story. So don't get me wrong. Look at me, I'm super chic, the chicest chicken I click, and a big boat looks big, shiny feathers nice and sleek, and ready, my heart's booming, I'm ready, my loins are booming, my fluff is blonde and round, come back in my town, wow, wow, wow. I'm Rudy, I want Rudy, I want Rudy, I want Rudy, I want and a buzz is just 3 eggs away. But see that flock of awkward cocks hanging round, it squeaks and squawks, clucking cockless cocks. How do I get one in my box? It's late, don't wait till my titties start hanging. I'm ready, are you ready for some banging? So stop your flirty game. Just sit on me and ay. Because I am Rudy, I want Rudy, I want Rudy, I want Rudy, I want and a buzz is just 2 eggs away. This classy chicken's got a clock ticking away, no time to talk. Right or Dumbo, it don't matter. I just need some baby batter. Come closer, closer. You don't want to miss this. I'm ready. Are you ready for a kinky cooter kiss? My heaven's door is open wide. It takes 2 seconds for the bride. Well, now you all know what I am. Maybe some of you are just like me. Let's do this together. Are you ready, Beaverton? I take that for a yes. We are Rudy, I want I'm gonna do it now. Rudy, I and a buzz is just 1 egg away. And you know what? My dad, I had always known him as a big snorer. He could snore. I got his talent, but maybe you don't want to know that. Anyway, we would sit next to his bed, and he would, he would tell stories from his past, and sing a song once in a while, and a little old song in Dutch that I had never heard before, and then he would fall asleep, and then he would snore loud, and my sister and I, we were just sitting there, and once in a while the snoring would stop for like 30 seconds, and then I would look at my sister, and my sister would look at me, and then we were like, is this it? Because my dad, he did not have like a certain disease or anything, but he was like an old car. He was falling apart. But then after 40 seconds, 55 seconds, 57 seconds, he had sleep apnea. And so some weeks went by, and didn't get any better. He was in a lot of pain. And the times that he slept were becoming longer, and he wasn't awake very much. And when he was awake, he was just basically crying and screaming. And we thought, well, we should help him a little bit, right? Well, this is the Netherlands, so everything has to be official. We had to sign the papers. There was witnesses. I was there. My sister was there. The nurse was there. The doctor was there. We signed papers like we're going to give him really good drugs to go to the other side, and it will help him ease out. And then the nurse, she fills a tube with a needle. She goes to my dad and sticks the needle in his arm, and right then he wakes up and he says, "You gotta cut your fingernails." That hurts. Turns out he's in a really good mood. He starts singing a song. En van je valt er al drie en je valt er al out. And, well, it's just like an improv, where you just go with the flow. So I say, well, Dad, I got my accordion here. Shall I get it? And, yeah, that's a really good idea, he says. And so I got my accordion, and I play a song. Aan die Amsterdamse grachten. And then slowly he falls back asleep, or whatever, coma. Good drug, so I have confidence. He was kind of happy. And then the nurse comes, and she rolls him on his side, and he stops snoring. But he's still asleep. And we realized we should have done that 40 years earlier. Anyway, 3 days later, he really went. So that was that. And right now I'm going to sing a song for my dad, who passed away 8 years ago. 8 years in a week. boos, zelf ben je bang. Je trappelt met je blote benen als een baby. Als ik de laatste lepel van het eten in je mond steek. Hoe lang nog en wat dan?
We're pigs, freaking pigs. We score manure and snort encore. Clogging our pores, we oink for more. For another quick fix, we stick out our snout out in the mix. We're stuck in the muck. Stuck deep in the shit and we're digging it. We're pigs, freaking pigs. Deep in the shit and we're digging it. We're pigs, freaking pigs. Suck my trotter, smoke my grime. This cock is killer, I feel swine. The entire sty is flying high through mire to the deep in the shit and we're digging it. We're pigs, freaking pigs. We're deep in the shit and we're digging it. We're pigs, freaking pigs. We're deep in the shit and we're digging it. We're pigs, freaking pigs. We're deep in the shit and we're digging it. We're pigs, freaking pigs.
No, that was Dutch.
Hey, shoot. We got a translator. You're going to tell the whole evening whatever happened.
Jet Black Pearl. Thanks for being on the library show.
Blame.
You've got some mad skills. Oh, well, you know, what I wanted to ask you was, I don't have a lot of time, I know we're running a little late, but I was trying to visualize smuggling an accordion. It sounds like a noisy, smuggling an accordion.
Smuggling,
Oh, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
is that a noisy thing?
Well, it didn't work very well, the accordion. I didn't know that yet because I didn't play it. I bought it because it had beautiful flowers on the bellow, and we travel by train, so I put it in, where you put all your luggage. I didn't even know this was Europe from before Europe.
Right.
Like there were still borders, and you still had to pay tax. So this accordion that I bought for I don't know the currency, but it was like equivalent of $50. The tax that I would have to pay was going to be like $200 when the guy found out that I was smuggling the accordion. But he was nice.
Oh,
Yes.
he looked the other way?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Seems like the right thing to do with an accordion smuggler.
Yeah, you just.
It's a different kind of drug.
You can put a lot in those bellows there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, sounds like you've had some experience.
There's a book about that, Accordion Crimes.
Oh, yeah, by
And
Annie Proulx?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
right, yes.
Yeah.
I've read that a long time ago. I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about the drug part. Were you musical as a child? Is this, where did this come from?
I liked music, and my parents, we never listened to music at home.
You did?
Weirdly, no. We did not have a record player. We did listen to the radio, but it was always like talk shows. And but they did send me to music school because that was good for the education, they
Right.
thought. But then they gave me we had already for my older siblings an electric organ that my mother she had chosen that because you could put the headphones.
So no one else had to hear it.
Exactly.
Is that what you played then when you
That's
lived?
what I played,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
And I liked it.
yeah.
Yeah, kind of,
How hard is it to play one of these things? I see a lot of buttons on there.
Yeah. And you see them, but I don't see them.
Right.
So
But
that's the hardest part.
You know how to touch them.
Sometimes, yeah, I do my best.
I didn't hear any mistakes.
Well, good. You're nice.
And so you're making a living at this as your main job is doing
Yeah, I don't do another job. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So this is your life. Yeah.
Yes.
And you
yes.
tour with your husband, who's the bubble man.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he's in the room.
Yeah.
Mr. Pearl.
So you guys do shows together.
That happens.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we actually have one coming up. A special one because this usually it's kids shows, but this one is not for kids.
Ah.
But it's all the way in Vancouver. That's like 2 bridges.
Okay. At least. When is that? When is
That
the
is
show?
next Thursday.
Thursday.
I think that's the 9th.
Okay.
I-
Right. We can go on your website and find out all those
That's
things.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you do a regular show out in St. John's.
Yeah, that's...
That's also 2 bridges.
No, actually, no, just one bridge.
Just one bridge. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful bridge.
Yeah, it's a beautiful bridge.
And that show is,
It's in a couple of weeks.
yeah, I know
It's
that.
always the second Saturday.
Second Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, we had to change the date of this show to accommodate your show out in St. John's, remember?
Wow, you got
I'm
good
so
memory.
glad we did that.
And thank
Yeah,
you too.
yeah. And those shows are free. They're at a pub, right? And
Those ones, yes.
So there's a little place to throw some money in the hat, right?
Absolutely, that's
Yeah.
TJ.
Yeah. Okay.
He's
Cool.
part of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then I should not mention that all because I'm going to play in Beaverton this very month.
Oh, you are?
Yes,
You're coming back here.
I'm coming back.
Okay. When is that?
At the end of the month, at the 28th or something. It's on a Sunday.
Where?
It's at the Old Market Pub.
Oh, that's over at one in Garden Home, right? Yeah.
Well, you know better than me.
It's on the edge of Beaverton.
Oh, sorry.
It's not Beaverton proper.
They have a different accent there.
Yeah, well, it is Garden Home. Yeah.
Wow. It's not as classy. Well, but they do have, it's not in the pub actually. They have like a black room theater
Oh.
in the back.
Okay.
So there's no television, no weird people you have to sit next to. I mean, there might be weird people next to you, but
Yeah.
not those.
Okay, well, I have so many other questions I would love to ask you, but I know we're running a little long. So, any favorite library things you'd share with us? A book or a memory or
Yeah.
are Dutch
because-
libraries in like a big wooden shoe or windmill?
Yeah, yes, windmills. They used to use windmills to make paper. So in a way,
There you go.
back in the days.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, when I was little, reading, like going to the library, there was a library 15 minutes by bike from my house, and I would go there all the time, and it was more my passion than music. It
What's
was
the library?
get the books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had 5, not 100.
Oh, you can only take out 5?
5.
Oh,
So I had to go like every week,
wow.
but it was not very far.
Yeah.
And I devoured those books. But you know what? I read so much. My mom got a bit worried because she wanted me to have enough rest at night. She wanted me to sleep a lot, because it was good for my health, she said. So I was not allowed to read in bed. And but I did.
Of course. Under the blanket, flashlight.
I actually had a little lamp
Uh-huh.
over the bed. But then, let's say I would go to bed at 8. They would come and check at 9 to see if I was awake or if I was still reading. And then they found out about the light. When the lamp is still hot,
Yeah.
it means that you...
Right.
And then they found my book under my pillow. So I had to upgrade the system.
Was there a punishment?
Oh, yes. It
Yes.
was not good.
Severe.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us about it?
Well, I was, for instance, I would not be allowed to go to the library.
Oh, no,
Seriously.
that's horrible.
No, that makes light in the street.
Oh,
Lamppost.
Street light, or
Street
lamppost,
light.
yeah.
Yes,
uh-huh.
yes. Street light, right in front of my window.
Ah, perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can't turn that off.
Exactly. It's not so. It was not as bright, so maybe that was like how I started to ruin my eyes a little bit.
Yeah.
And also, I had a bookshelf above my bed, so when I would hear my parents come to my room, I had just enough time to close the curtain, like get up, put the book on the shelf, and go back, get the blankets.
With your best sleep apnea.
It worked.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, not yet back then. So, and then but you know what? I had when I was a little older, like early teens, then I got another punishment for something else. I don't even remember what it was, but I was going to do the teenager book jury. You know, we had to read a certain certain amount of books and then review them, and I was so excited I was going to do that. But I got punishment and was not allowed to do it. And I'm still sad about this.
Yeah.
But then I went to one of the schools where you have to read a lot, and all of a sudden I had to read a lot. Like 15 books in Dutch, 15 books in English, 15 books in Old Dutch, and I didn't even have German and French like some of my classmates. So that was, and all of a sudden I didn't like it anymore.
Too much.
It was not exciting anymore.
Chore.
It was a chore. So I have advice
Yes.
to people. If you know kids that don't read enough, just tell them that they're not allowed to read.
Great advice. Reverse psychology, it always works. Jet Black Pearl, thank you for being on the library show.
Thank you.
And if you could stay up here. Ash, do you mind coming up and taking a bow with Jet Black Pearl? Chris had to leave. Unfortunately, he had another show tonight. I did not know that, but he had to take off. But come on up and take a bow.